Check. All right. Sorry I'm late. Dan Campbell spoke to the media today. Oh, let's get this going. Good morning. Good morning. You like that? Yeah. Here we go. I am sorry about the light down here in my spot right here. Hope you like my little downstairs studio with all of my mess down here. Welcome one and welcome all to the Lion Villain Report with your host, Russell Wayne. That's me here in the mornings. The off season is finally over. It's over. If you're excited about Lions football, give me a one pride in the comments. And we are officially into training camp mode. I was a little bit late today simply because Dan Campbell spoke to the media. It's like, whoa, Dan Campbell spoke to the media today. There's actually football stuff going on right now as we speak. And I'm excited for this 2024 season. If you are excited for this 2024 season, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what you want to talk about today. I got some things that I want to throw in there, but let me know what you want to talk about too, because this is viewer driven, especially going 5-6 days a week. We're going to be doing this at 9 a.m. every single morning. We're broadcasting live right now into the Lions Villain Squad. We have 51,000 villains that are rearing and ready to go. Talking football, being about these Detroit Lions, because a lot of people think that they can win a Super Bowl, and for good reason. They can win a Super Bowl this year. They brought back pretty much the entire band when it came to this. So we're broadcasting live into the Lions Villain Squad. We're broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions News Podcast. That's with Joe Chapp and the boys over there. Thank you for allowing us to be in there. And then we're also on Roku. We're on Roku on the Huddle Sports Network. We appreciate everybody for supporting by liking, sharing, subscribing to the content, following the content. We appreciate you for allowing us in your space here in the morning. And now as we're talking to the line, what is your favorite storyline going into the offseason? What are the top storylines for the Lions going in there? Now, Dan Campbell spoke to the press today, and he was talking about the injuries, that there's 4 injuries. My camera was on. Oh, they did not like my camera anymore. All right, let's just go with this one. We're going to go with the other camera line right there. If you guys can still hear me, I don't know what happened right there. But anyway, a little bit of technical difficulties. We got Dwayne is in the comments right now. Let's go Detroit Lions. There we go. And we got Mike in the house. Oh, mile marker in the house. I can't read today. Holy crap. We need to turn up my brightness. Steve's in the house. I love is Love the best QB in the North or best QB in the NFC? Not even close, Steve. Not even close. Jordan Love has had a stretch of 10 good games in his entire career. And now Brian Gutekunst is going to have to sign him to the richest contract in NFL history for a guy that's played 10 good games. So if you want to, if you want to back up Jordan Love, that's fine. I understand there's Packer fans in here, but you guys are going to get these hands this year. The Packers are not as good as the Lions. The Lions got better. They were better last year than the Green Bay Packers by 3 games, and they got better. They got better. They got better in this offseason than the Lions got better this offseason than the Packers did. Packers added some guys, but the Lions improved dramatically in the places that they were weak. So no, Jordan Love is not the best QB in the North. Jared Goff is the best QB in the North. If you want to make an argument for him to be the second best QB in the North, I would agree with you on that. I think Jordan Love and Jared Goff are the 2 best quarterbacks in the North, but Goff is better. Goff's been there longer. Goff's done it longer. Goff had a better record last year. Goff had a better record in his entire career. But, here we go. He's played 10 games. I guess he's going to be the next Hall of Fame quarterback, right? We're already jumping in there. And you call me a homer for liking my team and liking the improvements. All right, we got Steve then. Who says they're better? Who says they're better? The record says that we're better. The record says that we're better than the Green Bay Packers. The split in the season doesn't really give anybody a leg to stand on, so you got to go back to the previous season. Dan Campbell has owned the Green Bay Packers since he's gotten here. You guys got a victory last year, and you guys act like it's your Super Bowl. Is that your Super Bowl? Beating the Lions once last year? Now you guys are going to win everything because you beat the Lions once last year? Don't forget that we whipped your ass in Lambeau Field too. So for the Lion fans that are out here, how many playoff wins do the Lions have in franchise history? They doubled their playoff wins last year in 1 year. So it is what it is. We had more playoff wins last year than the Green Bay Packers did. And Mile Marker 301 says that one of my favorite storylines for camps is Brian Branch. Safety or only rotational positions. I love that one. Thank you, Mike. Or I keep on calling you Mike. You're Mile Marker 301. And Brian Branch is an interesting thing because the Lions made so many improvements in the secondary. Like last year, when they lost Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and they lost that nickel cornerback, it was like Brian Branch had to come in, and he's one of the best defenders. And they put him at slot corner, and he did very well. As a matter of fact, he's like one of the top 10 cornerbacks in the entire league. And with them picking up Rakestraw, Terrion Arnold in first and second round, and then they trade for Carlton Davis. They sign Amik Robertson. They don't have the need for the slot corner like they did last year, Mile Marker 301. And I think just because he's such a good football player that they're going to have him out there 100% of the time. So what that may look like is, he's going to be moving between that slot corner, doing a little bit of free safety, any of those 3 spots. And what happens is the other players are going to rotate, and I think that he's going to switch positions a lot. I think safety is going to be the position that he's going to play this year, but you will see him taking slots, reps at slot corner, and you will see him, doing a lot more safety this year. That, in my opinion, that's what it is. What do you think, Brian Branch? Brian Branch was one of the players that the Dan Campbell spoke of today about injury, and he showed up to OTAs in a boot, kind of scared a lot of the fans that were out there. And I don't know what you thought about that, but it was a off-season surgery that was to prepare to repair a injury that he suffered last year that he was playing through. So in the end game, it's going to be better, and it doesn't seem like it's something really to be scared about right now, because they were in the walkthroughs today. Marcus Davenport, he said that he was actually the closest to coming back from the injury out of the four guys that he had mentioned. And the four guys that he had mentioned was Brian Branch, DJ Reader, Marcus Davenport, and then the surprise on that list was Giovanni Manu got put onto the NFI list, and it looks like he's going to be a red shirt anyway. He was a red shirt, just trying to figure stuff out, and looks like they're just going to go ahead and put him on the NFI list. He probably won't play much this season anyway. Trying to get his body ready. A lot like what Broderick Martin went through last year is what Manu is going to go through. So I don't know how serious that injury is, non-football injury. I don't know what that's going to do, but I'm not too concerned about the Manu thing, because I didn't expect him to play much this year. It's actually encouraging to know that Davenport is the closest to being done, because who is going to be that pass rusher opposite of Aiden Hutchinson? Those are the burning questions going into this year. So what else we got in here? One of my favorites right there. Paul Jones says, how many playoff wins does Goff have compared to Love is the real question. Yeah, the thing is like Steve is one of the good Packer fans that are out there. He comes, he sports this show. He loves talking football with us, and I have no problem with him liking his quarterback. If Jordan Love was the quarterback of the Detroit Lions and had the year that he did last year, I would probably be up here going, woo, woo, yeah, all right, Jordan Love's the greatest. And that's cool. That's cool. But in reality, it isn't going to be Jordan Love that it is going to be the big difference maker, I don't think, because the Lions team is so good, and Green Bay is going to have to stop the Lions in other ways from their defense to try to stop our offense with it rolling the way that it is. So I expect Green Bay to get a lot better this year. They have a lot of young pieces, but I don't think that you're as good as the Lions. Against the Lions and Chiefs, Love's had 535 yards and 6 TDs and 0 interceptions. Wow, way to cherry pick, man. But you want me to pull up Jordan Love's stats against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that truck sticked you 34-20 or something like that, and you got beat by the New York Giants down that stretch too? Talk about cherry picking. Wow. You know what was Love's stat line in the first game against the Lions in Lambeau Field? What was that? You don't want to put that one up? That one's not so good? Marco, rewatch Grossi's reaction to Green Bay trade with the Lions and then picking Branch. That is hilarious. It is. Sarah, way to go. Sarah's like, guess who's in the PUP? Please, Davenport. Well, we knew that, Sarah. We knew that, Sarah. If you've been watching the show, Sarah, it's not like we've been on here talking about how great Davenport is going to be. God, if we can get 10 games out of this guy, that'll be 8 more games than you guys got out of him. So I don't have a lot of faith here. They got him for a bag of chips. Actually, Minnesota is paying for more of Davenport's salary than the Lions are. So, I mean, it's low risk. I would say, I don't want to say high reward because I think that if Davenport does the best that he's going to do this year, he might be able to get double digit sacks. He might be able to get 9, 10 sacks. I don't think he's going to have like 15 sacks or anything like that. So, he did start on the PUP list. I know that you think that's funny. We call him we called him half a sack Davenport, but now I got to call him 2 sack Davenport because he had 2 sacks in the games that he played with you. Paul, Goff has played more games than Love, so the question is irrelevant. No, Steve, the question isn't irrelevant because you're out here telling everybody in my chat room and you're talking and everybody that is listening to this show right now that Jordan Love is the best quarterback in the NFC, maybe the NFL now. So when you bring up stuff like that, people have the right to bring up what they've done because you're saying that Jordan Love is better than a quarterback that's been to a Super Bowl, 2 NFC championships, has more playoff wins, had a better record than you last year, and split the series with you. And Jared Goff is 4-2 against the Green Bay Packers as a Lion. So you have the burden of proof. You're the one that's just saying stuff. Jared Goff's actually done it. He's been there. He's won more games. What did I tell you guys about that injury? You told us. But we agreed with you when you told us. It wasn't like we were sitting here going, Davenport's going to be, the next Nick Bosa, and then you're here telling us. We agreed with you. That's why we only paid $6 million for the guy. Sarah, yes, your number one fan, Steve's in here. I bet you could turn Steve into a Viking fan if you tried real hard, Sarah. I think he likes you. There's Scott Harrison in the house. Sarah says, I never know when you guys are on. Well, I'm trying to get there. Last year, let's explain what happened last year. I'm trying to figure out where we're going to be on, right? So we started out last year doing the 11 o'clock show. And we started doing pretty well with that. And then Jeremy Baldrick started with us for a little while. I gave him the 11 o'clock slot. We moved to 3 a.m. Or 3 a.m. 3 p.m. for a while. And that's my time here. It may be a little bit hour different for you guys. And then the off season hit, and then Mike and I started combining our shows on Monday because it's the off season. And training camp started yesterday for the team. So I decided to pick up and do it in the morning, Sarah. So now we're trying this in the morning. We're going to see how this works in the morning at 9 a.m. It's going to be a morning show, and we're going 5 days a week. That actually 6 days a week. We're even going on Saturdays. So that's the story to it. So 9 a.m. when we started. I don't know if that's the same for you, Sarah, but I hope that this works out better for you guys. Especially for you, Sarah, because you come on all the time, and then I moved it to 3 o'clock and screwed you over. I apologize for that. LOL, maybe he'll double his sacks. Yeah, if he plays. He's been good if he plays. Oh, gosh, it feels good to not have expectations. Why does it feel good not to have expectations? Oh, man, he said playoff games. Yeah, you're 1-1 in playoff games. Yeah. Camera is not showing me. The camera's not showing me. That's because I guess I have this stupid thing in there. Yeah. Sorry about that. I'd put the pictures up. I don't know how good my background looks today. But this is the Lion Villain Report. This is our are daily. Please like, subscribe, share this content. If you like football content, then you're going to like what we're doing here. We love talking football. Please put your questions, anything that you want to talk about into there. I mean, I have stuff that I want to talk about, but I obviously want to talk about what you guys want to talk about. And one of the things that we talked about, who's going to get signed next by Brad Holmes. Oh, yeah, I still have my 5 second, guys. Who's going to get signed next? We were talking about that a little bit yesterday. We got some third year, fourth year guys. Aleem McNeil's in a contract year. Derek Barnes is in a contract year. Ifeatu Melifonwu is in a contract year. And Taylor Decker is in a contract year. And I think that those are the four most important. If you can think of anybody else, let me know in the comments that should get a contract next. Because the Lions were handing out money this offseason. They were able to re-sign some of the core players that they drafted in 2021 when Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell got here. Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then Penei Sewell. And those two ended up being, they're like the cornerstone of what we're doing here. And I love that they had done that. And now this whole band that they have, and Sarah says that it's nice to not have expectations. I think it's nice to finally have expectations. Because I'm sick of, as a Lions fan, year after year after year after year, trying to have expectations, but, you know, in the back of your mind that you don't have a good enough team. I mean, like even last year, the Lions blew away their expectations. I mean, nobody thought that the Lions were going to win the Super Bowl last year and or really get as far as they did. But when it comes down to it, a lot of Lions fans at the beginning, the bulk of them, I would say 60, 70% of them, they just wanted to make it into the playoffs and win a playoff game. So when it got to 2 playoff games and everything, we were kind of, you know, playing with Hal's money at that time. So we're not used to having expectations, and the entire team's still here. Like minus the secondary, which wasn't very good anyway. We lost all of our secondary pieces, and we lost Isaiah Buggs and Benito Jones and replaced them with like way higher quality players. So it's weird to have expectations as a Lions fan, but you got to get used to it, guys, because it ain't going anywhere. Like even if Minnesota or Green Bay, all these guys, they want to get good, that's fine. They can be good. They can be in a fight with us. But there ain't no more steamrolling these Detroit Lions. This team is a team that's built that you're going to need to pack a lunch to get a victory. Oh. Sarah says that everyone is so high on the Bears when they haven't proven anything. Well, I don't know about everybody being so high on the Bears. I'm with you, Sarah. Like, I've been told to pump the brakes as a Lions fan, even after doing good stuff for so many years, that I mean, it looks like a broken record coming out of the Windy City. A broken record. Every quarterback that they get is going to be the greatest quarterback. Last year we had to listen to all these Justin Fields for MVP. Justin Fields is going to take the league over. And the year before that, Justin Fields is going to be an MVP. Justin Fields is going to take the league over. And before that, it was Mitch Trubisky. Oh, what are you going to do when Mitch Trubisky runs wild on you? Mitch Trubisky is going to be the next big thing. Here come the Chicago Bears. Lose, 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 lose. Oh, we drafted Caleb Williams, number 1 overall. Look out. He's already the greatest quarterback. Oh, our top 5 list of quarterbacks in the NFL has Caleb Williams coming in just ahead of Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. What are we really doing here? Really? Really? So I'm not supposed to feel good about my Lions after going to the playoffs, winning a couple playoff games. We got lucky, whatever you want to say. But the Chicago Bears, all of their guys that they got that have never played with their team or never been around the chemistry of their team, they're all just going to gel, instantly get together, and go to the NFC Championship and maybe in the Super Bowl in year one. And everybody doesn't even know yet. That's what you want us to believe, Chicago Bear fan? Come on, man. Come on. You finished in last place, tied with the Minnesota Vikings down at the bottom. Stop it. Stop it. You're better. You're better. Take it. Take the compliment and say, hey, you're better. But you had 2 victories, or you were 1-1 with the Lions last year, and you really should have won both the games, but you pissed off my team. So we're going to sweep these Bears this year. These Bears, they've done too much talking. They've done too much talking. This Caleb Williams hasn't done anything yet. He hasn't even taken a snap yet. So I feel you 100% on that, Sarah. A Lion fan and a Viking fan can agree right there. Steve says, I think Chicago will do somewhat better to help them build that new stadium. Do you guys see that yet? Did you guys see that yet? Yeah, they're trying to build a stadium, right? Do you think that, the Lions rebuilt their stadium in 2002. How'd that help us? I don't know. Building a new stadium, that's fun. Chicago's got a lot of passionate fans. So I'm not surprised that they want to build a new stadium. There's something that's about Soldier Field that I don't know. That's pretty iconic. I don't know, man. If I was a Bear fan, I don't know how much I'd really want them to move out of Soldier Field. Could you imagine the Green Bay Packers trying to get out of Lambeau? Come on. There's a lot of history that goes on there. So, I don't know. They are drafting well. I think Poles is doing a good job with the Chicago Bears, but it's the coaching that I don't have the confidence in. You can have the most talented quarterback in the world, but if you don't have the coaching, it doesn't really matter. If the guys aren't on the same page, it doesn't really matter. So I don't know. I do not believe in the coaching in Chicago. If I believe in anything, is coaching as far as I believe in the Vikings to coach up what they have with their new pieces more than I believe in Chicago just to all of a sudden put it all together. They have more talent than the Minnesota Vikings. The Chicago Bears do, but I don't know if they have the coaching to put it all together. So I don't know. Guys, I'm talking to a Bear fan and a Viking fan on my Lions show. I love it. This is cool. All right. See what we could do after getting rid of Kirk. This may be a hard year for you, Sarah. And if you guys can do well this year, I would consider you guys a lot like what the Packers were last year. Because you got a lot of young pieces. You got a young quarterback that is unproven, and maybe he can make something happen. J.J. McCarthy, at least from a effort standpoint, he isn't going to let you down. I watched him here in Michigan, and he hasn't really done a lot as far as in the collegiate, but he didn't have to. He won a national title without having to do much. So a lot of his skill set, I think, is still yet to be developed. So, yeah. Sarah says that we can actually pay people. Yeah, when you get a rookie quarterback finally on a rookie deal, and you start saving money, that's where you can start getting your team good. The Lions can relate to that, but in different positions. that I know that they just paid Jared Goff, so our quarterback's been paid a lot, but we're saving a lot of money in other positions. Like Aiden Hutchinson and Brian Branch and Aleem McNeil still on a rookie deal. The guys that are on your rookie deals are saving you money because you can't pay everybody if you're drafting one. So, like we talked about that last year, Sarah, with your team, what you need to do. You had to get out from underneath a lot of that money, and that's what you were doing. You ripped the Band-Aid off last year. I think Brian Flores overachieved from your defensive standpoint, so you got a little bit to build on. There you go. I'm not usually I'm usually a lot harder on the Vikings, but they might not be good, but I think that they're in a good spot to move forward now that some of this each year, a lot of that dead cat money and all that BS is going to come off your books, and then you'll be able to make your team better. Steve says that after Love gets his contract, CJ Stroud will be the next high-paid QB to come. Are you sure? I mean, I thought there was more quarterbacks to be had. They may pay Brock Purdy. Tagovailoa, I don't know if he got paid yet. Did they pay Tua yet? I think Tua's on that list. Oh, hold on one second. Let me grab my drink. Oh, yeah. Oh, good stuff, man. I love you guys because today was a crazy morning. I'm down here with my son, and we're doing this thing, and it's hard, and then to come up with content sometimes, come up with the things to talk about, and having you guys in here. I love having a conversation as well. It says Williams is soft as hell. Williams, I'm not sure who we're talking about here. Is that Caleb Williams? What's up, Adam? Adam's in the house. Steve says they are getting a new stadium. Yeah, the Bears are getting a new stadium. But the thing is, like Soldier Field. I mean, if there's any Bear fans that are out there watching this, what would you do? You want a new stadium? Do you like Soldier Field? That's interesting. Sarah says the Vikings are paying Kyrie Jackson the remaining signing bonus to his family, covering $20,000 in funeral expenses. Glad my team is a first-class organization. Sarah, I'm sorry about that. Kyrie Jackson was one of those guys that I thought was going to be a really, really good pro. I thought was a really good pick for you guys, and what a tragedy that is. Faith, family, and football is what we preach on here. I love football, but I love people in my family more, and that's awesome that they did that. I'm glad that they stepped up and did that. And that's my thoughts and prayers. I don't know what to say to those types of things because that's some real stuff right there. But I'm glad that you brought that up, Sarah. Thank you. Yep. Nope. Tua and Dak still needs to get paid. Back into the football conversation. Yeah, there's tons of people. So when the people were making fun of the Lions for paying Jared Goff so first, I just, I didn't really I'm not going to come at you because that was a big contract. That was a bigger contract than I thought it was going to be. But I also knew that there's 7 quarterbacks that were right behind him that needed to get paid as well. And then you already had a couple of them fall. I know Trevor Lawrence got paid. And, the next person gets paid. That's what it is. It's like, Steve, I mean, I know that you love Jordan Love, but do you love Jordan Love like to the tune of $60 million a year? Because the longer that waits, the higher that number is going to go for Jordan Love. So if you wish anything, Steve, you're hoping that Jordan Love is the next quarterback that is paid, because every quarterback that goes by after Jordan Love and Jordan Love doesn't get paid, every quarterback that goes by while Jordan Love does not get paid makes that price go up higher and higher and higher. Would Lions fans take Dak
if Dak or if Goff was gone, be honest, would the Lions take Dak if Goff was gone? I don't know, man. Would I give would I give Dak Prescott a $60 million deal just to come in and work this franchise without being here? I don't think so. If Goff wasn't here, Goff's a better quarterback anyway, as far I think. Dak's more mobile. Goff's a better thrower of the football. But if Goff wasn't here, I mean, would I take Dak? I mean, it depends on the price. Tell me what price that you want to pay him. But that's not the style of Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes has been drafting and developing. Like, Brad Holmes has been frustrating Lion fans when it comes to, coming like trade deadline stuff. Last year they wanted him to go get Chase Young. They want him to go spend all this money on these named guys. And the things that have been working for the Lions, and them just drafting and then paying their own guys. I was happy that they didn't go out and, sign, Daniil Hunter for all of that money. I mean, he's a great player, but I would rather have the guy on my team, draft and develop him, and then pay the guys that have been with us. And that's exactly what they did. And I expect them with that $34 million that the Lions have in cap space is to, make it happen. And make it happen with the guys that are already on the team. Like Aleem McNeil. I think Aleem McNeil is the one that stands out for me that you got to re-sign. Derek Barnes, you could probably let him go. You've been developing linebackers. You got a nice solid room there. Ifeatu Melifonwu, I mean, I love him. He gave me a shout out. He gave us a shout out on this show. Do you pay him? I don't know. It just depends on how much money it is. But I don't think so. I don't think I would take Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott is overrated. They've always loaded his team. So that's a long answer to your question. I'm sorry it took so long. Sarah says that, yeah, we were devastated about Kyrie. Had so much hope for him. The team will play hard for him this season. Yeah. I think that Minnesota could be one of those surprise teams. I didn't think it last year just because when you rip a Band-Aid off, you just didn't have the money to put yourself over to put yourself over the edge, put you into the contention with the top teams, because the top teams are so good, so well coached and everything. And I think you have a better chance to coach your guys into it this year because you got a lot more talent and you don't have as much cap strap. Next year will be even better for you. Minnesota is probably going to rise next year, if anything. Sarah says, I trust a prostitute more than Dak in the playoffs. Hell no, I wouldn't pay Dak. I got faith in McCarthy. He has he was here in Minnesota all summer working his butt off. Yeah, I like that. And you know what? I don't care who Kirk Cousins goes to. I'm always going to have that Kirk Cousins drop. I got to have that one in there. I don't care. And there's another one that I think is a good one. Gosh, hey, feels good to have a QB who does that. Kirk never did that with us. Working all summer. Man, you're so hard on Kirk Cousins. You're not the only one. I'm a Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins. I love a good pocket quarterback. And it's like when guys can't escape the pocket, people just hate him. And he's going to put up numbers, man. He's going to put up numbers. C says, because everyone around is asking Dak stay in Dallas. I'm not sure. F around and find out. That's what I say about the Dallas Cowboys. What a paper team. This is a team that gets these high-end guys and they want to pay everybody. You can't pay all these people. You're not going to be able to pay Micah Parsons that highest contract in the league, and Dak Prescott, the highest contract in the league, and CeeDee Lamb, the highest contract in the league. Something's got to give there. They're in a mess in Dallas. And, I mean, they were overrated last year. This year, they're going to be way overrated. Where you bring back the corpse of Ezekiel Elliott and we're good to go? Come on, Dallas. Oh, man. Lions have Hooker. We have a Hooker, the backup quarterback. That's right. We're going to get to see Hendon Hooker this year. Holy crap. You wouldn't even have known that. You wouldn't even have known that. I'm glad that he's working it. I'm glad that he's working it in camp. And he'll get to take the majority of the snaps. I mean, I don't think you're going to see one snap from Jared Goff in preseason. And rightfully so. Got to build that backup quarterback. Backup quarterback is an important position. No Teddy Bridgewater. And then Hooker's got to step in and be the backup quarterback. What's the number one back in Detroit? Gibbs or Montgomery? Yes. That's a little thunder and lightning. To answer that question, I think Montgomery it will get the lead back on paper, right? Look at it like the situation they had in New Orleans when they won the Super Bowl with Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is an Alvin Kamara type of player. Actually, I think he's better. I think he's a better runner. And right now, Alvin Kamara is a better receiver, but I think that Gibbs' receiving is going to take an astronomical jump this year. He's a weapon. He's more of a weapon, but David Montgomery, I think, is the starter going in there. That's pretty good when you got two top 10 running backs in your running back room. It's a good problem to have. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, hey, Steve says, hey, Sarah, you see that Darrisaw new deal. See, it makes me feel good that you get the contracts done early. Penei Sewell goes and gets the contract done, and then Darrisaw comes in after. And I don't know if Darrisaw is a better tackle than Penei Sewell. I don't think that he is, but he got paid more. And that's the thing right there is the first person to get paid is not going to get as much. It's the next person up. The next person up gets paid. And Darrisaw is a top 5 tackle in the National Football League. So you're not going to not pay this guy. So Darrisaw is a cornerstone piece. And like I said, Sarah, as you're building and more money's coming back to you from those bad contracts that you had before, you're going to like having these good contracts. And Darrisaw is a good contract. I'm not going to say anything bad about, extending your big men, because that's where the game's won. Oh, man, I'm about ready to turn into a pumpkin right here. You guys, I love talking to you guys, but I'm understanding my limitations here. I got to get to my son. And I love talking Lions storylines. I love that I have all 4 teams in here. I know this is a Lions show, but I'm not afraid to talk about the other 4 teams. I read up on all the teams. I am knowledgeable about all of the teams. Not as much as I am about the Lions, so you guys can help me out. But this is the Lion Villain Report. That's what you're watching right now. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. Let me get, oh gosh, I can't find my stuff. There's my banners. We are on Facebook at Villain Squad. You can follow us right there. We appreciate anybody that, right now, if you're watching, you can hear me, and you haven't liked the video that you're on, please like the video. Please subscribe. to the YouTube channel, which is at Villain Squad as well. And then we are also live on the Roku network, the NFL, the NFC The Huddle Sports Network. And we are here every morning, 9 a.m. Put it on your calendar. Spend some time with us as we are getting back into football activities. We're getting ready to ramp up and get into the preseason. And this is the Lionsville Report. I am Russell Wayne. And may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tomorrow for the Lionsville Report. God bless you.